And what is up, everyone? I am Joe DeHorius. I'm host of Beyond the Woodline. Real quick before we get started, first time I'm using this laptop, so I am very confused, but I think I got it going, and I'm sharing it to the page right now, Jacqueline. So that's a good thing. I'm just sharing this out, everyone. So give me a quick second. Real quick before we get started, though, I'd like to talk to you guys about what I'm doing and what's going on in my life. Um, so this was supposed to be a recorded show, but for whatever reason I can't record. So I'm going live on YouTube, which is cool because I can still share it out and stuff like that. So that's not a bad deal. Um, yeah, just real quick, I want to tell you guys how lucky I am. Um, my old laptop's been acting up. My birthday is next weekend, so my kids got together and they bought me this laptop. It's an amazing, amazing laptop. I mean, I was expecting like a $300 or $400 laptop. That's what I was looking for, just so I can record a podcast. And let me tell you, they went well, well beyond that. So I'm very lucky and fortunate to have those kids and my son-in-law in my life. Yeah, they hit a home run, right? And or a grand slam, really. But yeah, so real quick, just so you guys know, you can find the show on Spotify, YouTube, and go to those channels. Give me a like, subscribe if you can, please. Um, also, I'm also on Live 365. It's internet radio, and you can find that under Nighthawk Radio. So go check us out. Uh, we have a bunch of guys together, uh, and there's different shows. They cover different topics. I don't know if I'm the only one that covers like all the paranormal, UFO, and cryptid stuff, but there's also other topics. There's like a group of us got together and we created this. So go check us out. Um, and also, if you guys are interested, I am the executive director for the JRG, which stands for the Jevning Research Group. It's a group headed up and founded by Mr. William Jevning, and he's has 50 years plus experience in the Bigfoot world. This guy's great. He was friends with Renee DeHenden and John Green, who are considered, two of the pioneers in the Bigfoot world. Um, so he was friends with them when he was like a teenager. And so yeah, go check us out. And if you're interested in joining the team, we have teams in New York State, Florida, Michigan, Ohio, Oklahoma, here in Texas where I'm at, Louisiana, California, Oregon, New Mexico, Tennessee, and I'm probably missing a couple of other states here. But if you're interested in joining a team or creating your own team, you can do that as well. Shoot me an email, beyond.woodline@gmail.com. We'll get you started. We will vet you. If we set you up with anyone, we vet them too, because unfortunately, we have to be careful. Watch who we're getting together with, because this is a crazy world. But so far, we've had no issues. And like I said, we do vet everyone, so everyone's, you know, good, good people, good people. Uh, so, with all that being said, I know you guys don't tune in to hear me ramble all night long. I have with me today Miss Jacqueline Dixon of Paranormal Path. How are you doing, Jacqueline?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
Man, thanks a lot for doing the show. I know it's a little bit later where you're at, and if you don't mind telling people just exactly where you're at and how you got started and all this craziness that we find ourselves in.
Okay, I guess like things sort of happened to me, but I always like ignored them.
Mhm.
Like I remember like one or two things happening, and you think, yeah, okay, there's a reason for it. That's weird, and I don't think I was ready to sort of experience anything paranormal or anything like out of the ordinary. So I always had an excuse.
Mhm.
And about 2002, there's a UK show called Most Haunted. And basically, a lot in the UK watched it. We got intrigued by it. And we actually realized you could actually go out ghost hunting. Something, I didn't even think about until then. So at the end of that year, me and my ex, we sort of did a New Year's resolution to find out if ghosts existed. So this was like into 2003. I went on a couple of ghost hunts and I had things happen which I couldn't explain. So through the years, I sort of did one or two and then like joined a team. And then one night I was like invited to an evening where people were so experienced and there are a lot of mediums there. And that evening I was just picking up things myself. There's a lady who did trance mediumship, my friend Patricia Anfara, and she was doing trance mediumship, and I was actually picking up what she was seeing. And I actually saw a girl drowning in her face. She was like describing it. And I'd never seen anything or experienced anything like that. So it's kind of scary. And I shouted out, no. So, like, it was so quiet. Everybody was sitting there watching this lady. And it's the first time I'd seen proper trance because you see people do trance and they're waving their arms around and you just know it's rubbish. You know, there's a lot of actors around, aren't there? But this was real. And I actually saw what she was seeing. And it's like, whoa. And then the energy in the room changed, and there's this guy dancing. You know, I saw it in my head, this guy dancing on a stage, and wow. And like all through the night, I was shown different things in my mind's eye, and I felt grief off a lady more than my grief. So different, you know, and I had all these experiences that night. And at the end of the night, we all stood in a circle and were called in spirit. And it's like something got too close to me and I didn't know how to control it. And it really scared the hell out of me. So I went, it was about like, we're finishing at 2, it's about 1:45 in the morning. And it's like, I don't want to take this home. Like, how can I get rid of it?
Yeah.
And, you know, it just scared me. So I drove home. Luckily, I had somebody in the car with me, an hour's drive, made it home, didn't turn the lights off, didn't want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Thought, I'm never doing this crazy thing again because actually it does exist. There is something else out there. And in the morning after a sleep or two, I thought, hell, I want to do this again. And you know, I haven't had that experience again. I would love it again. I have been like on occasions it's been like with spirit have tried to overshadow me. That's fair enough. You know, I've got used to that. I've got used to that feeling. I've also done development as well for 8 to 10 years. So I can also pick things up mediumistically as well and do readings, things like that. And basically anyone can do that, you know, if they sort of open up.
Yeah.
So it is
So
an incredible journey.
yeah. So let me ask you, was it something in particular that scared you?
Yes, because basically, I couldn't. It's like this girl or spirit or whatever. Well, to me, it was a young girl. This is what
Mm,
I was. It was controlling my body. So basically, we're holding hands, and I was doing the hokey cokey. So we should be standing in a circle. So I was
mm,
like pulling myself in and pulling people out and stuff. And then I was laughing, and like these were people I wanted to impress. I had actually no control whatsoever over my body. And I was laughing like crazy, just being a fool, basically.
yeah.
But this was all out of my control. And my head was going to my mouth, get it out of me, but I couldn't speak either. So, yeah, it was really freaking me out. It's just such a crazy experience. And,
Right.
you know, people might think it's rubbish, but my gosh, you know, if something happens to you like that, it's wow.
Yeah. And I mean, just so like, okay, like I don't know you, but is that your nature to fool around and play around like that?
God,
You know?
no. Jesus,
Okay.
no. I wanted to impress these people.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
behaving like that is not impressive.
Right.
And the guy I was hit with, he said like his wife had been to the same location previously.
Hmm.
Is a good friend of mine, Phil Newton, and he'd been his wife had been to the location before, and similar had happened to her.
Yeah. See, that was my next question was like, yeah, had you ever heard of something like that happening at that same location? You know?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
after mentioning it, because I didn't know who to speak to.
Hmm.
It's the most bizarre thing. I didn't know who I could ask about it. It was all illogical. Like for 6 months, like even like you kind of ask your trusted friends, and then they kind of turn against you. It was mad. I
Hmm.
just don't know why, you know, because she did paranormal, and she said, "Oh, if you're that good a medium, then you know." And I
Yeah.
wasn't. Just something happened, and but maybe it was my time to like realize that yeah, I can't deny this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like if things had happened, yeah, okay, it's this banging, it's that noise. Oh, I don't know, it's pipe.
Yeah.
or something. You've always got a reason if you want one.
Yeah. So after this happened, and you said the next morning you woke up and were like, I want to go out and do this again. Did you learn how to like protect yourself against this, or how'd you handle that?
Well, I, I did start development lessons
Mhm.
after that, and did sort of go through the protection process. So I do know how to protect myself and everything
Mhm.
else, but I don't tend to now, which
No,
is bad.
no, no. Listen to me, and this is what I tell people all the time, and I've said it on this show. Like, if I go out to a location and I, put protection around me, nothing will happen to me.
This
Nothing.
is the one.
And so now I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go out just kind of as I am. When I leave, that's when I do that protection stuff. But
Yeah, I
if
get
I
that.
go in there and I do it, or like the people I'm with, like my group, if they want to do it, that's fine. I'm standing over here because if I do it, I'll get nothing. Nothing will happen to me. You know.
Yeah, that's right. You
Yeah.
can protect yourself too much.
Yeah.
And like I did sort of do sort of a development, and in the early days they said like you've always got to protect yourself. I thought, well, I'm this age. I've never protected myself in my life.
Yeah.
So why should I keep doing this on a daily basis? I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
So stop that. No.
Yeah. Well, that's good. So I don't know very much about the UK. I mean, what are some places there that you've gone to?
There's places like Margam Castle,
Okay.
stunning castle in Wales, got a beautiful staircase.
Mhm.
I've been there. I've been to sort of Matlock Pavilion. I'm actually a host at Newstead Abbey. Um,
Okay.
well, so my friend's a great medium, and he sort of runs paranormal events there. So I help him with the team, and I was actually there on Friday. It's like a stately home in the UK, and it's attached to an abbey.
Mhm. Okay.
So just a stunning building with sort of the abbey ruins sort of attached to it. It's got the cloisters as well from the 1200s. And yet then you've got this like family house attached to it
Mm.
from, dated quite a few years as well. So,
Yeah.
and I just love like all the old buildings which we sort of can get in, and just to feel the history of it.
Mm.
There's a court in the UK. They call it the National Justice Museum. It used to be an old prison, back once again to the 1400s, and that gets really creepy.
Mhm.
That's kind of 7 miles away from me, so that's a great location.
Oh
Derby
man, that's
Jail as
awesome.
well. Yeah, and it's even got an oubliette there.
Oh, what now?
So an oubliette. So a lot of castles have them. So basically, like if somebody, a king or somebody, didn't like a person, they just throw them down this hole into the ground,
Oh
not
wow.
feed them, and that's it. They couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So, and that place was one of those. So you can imagine all the tortured souls, and
Yeah.
and it does get a bit grim down there because it's Nottingham's got a lot of sandstone caves under it.
Right.
Most of the city's got caves, and you've then got that area, and it is a cave. It's really gruesome. It's underneath the building, and you don't know what has happened in that area.
Oh,
The oubliette is right near it.
wow. So do you have a place that's your favorite spot to go to?
Well, I do like those I've mentioned really.
Yeah.
Matlock Pavilion,
Okay.
that's where I had that really strange encounter.
Okay.
So, Matlock Pavilion is from 1910. Matlock Bath was itself, it had some spas, some natural springs.
Okay.
So in the Victorian age, they realised that people could do day trips there. So
Mm.
they sort of made it popular for day trips in those days. And then they built a great big theatre, pavilion, so people could go and sort of have, you know,
Yeah.
dancers or do performances, things like that.
Mhm.
And nowadays, if you kind of want to do sort of like a day out on holiday, you
Mhm.
go there. They have the fast food, and they have amusement arcades and things like that there. And it's
Yeah.
got a river, and it's got some nice walks. So it's a place a lot of people go out the weekend just to like escape. And then as you sort of go into that, it's kind of a small place. But as
Yeah.
you go in, you've got this great big building as you drive in on the right-hand side, pink building with a green dome. And that is Matlock Pavilion.
Okay. Hmm. So, do you have you ever done EVPs?
Yeah, I've done EVPs.
And have you ever gotten something that is like, wow, that has blown your
Yeah.
mind?
So I there's a haunted museum opened about 7 years ago, and I've been going 6 years ago
Mm.
for 6 years. And I went one night with there's just four of us in a room, and there's this kind of box which for some reason kind of linked to me. And I did an EVP, and it said, "Let me out." And it's very it's a wax covered box. It did have something in it. It kind of linked to me for kind of a while. Randomly enough, when the sort of owner of the place, Haunted Antiques Paranormal Research Centre, when he actually did sort of live sessions, live feeds with it, I was linking in with it,
Mhm.
and he was using dowsing rods, and I was getting all the information, and it kind of linked in with me strangely, and it used to cause a clicking in my ear.
Hmm.
And it was really odd because, like, I'd be at home and then I'd get one click in my ear, and I didn't know what it was. But then I kind of realised that approaching like a week before I actually went to the location, I'd get a click, sort of accept it, and that was it. And I always found in the end that whenever I was going there, that would always happen. And it was really odd.
Oh, yeah, I've
And
never heard of that.
there were also photos as well. So the first time I went there, I was kind of fascinated with it, and I held it. And the lady, the medium of the centre, Jane Rowley, she actually drew what she could see was attached to the box or with the box,
Hmm.
and it basically had a long, narrow nose and a real sticky out chin as well, kind of witchy like.
Okay.
And dark under the eyes. Well, I held this box at the end of that first time I went, and somebody took a photo, and my face was like that. So there are photos of that and me, and there's such a resemblance. And because somehow my face had changed, which was amazing. And then the next time, I was fascinated by it from then on. I went and held this box, and there's an image of me holding the box, hands in front of me, and great white light coming out of the box. Now, it's not this rubbish orb thing. You know how there's like all these white orbs in all these photos, and they're all been debunked, and
Right. Sure.
some people just argue about them, and we sort of know it's photography and all that. But this was different. So I'll let you have those photos and see if I can get hold of them.
Yeah.
But, they're just fascinating and different.
Yeah.
And, it's about 2 to 3 years that I kind of linked in with this. And then one day, it just seemed weak. The clicking, it kind of changed, and it got a lot weaker.
Mm.
And I sort of said to the owner, I said, there's something wrong with it. I'm not getting the interaction anymore. And it turned out somebody had actually opened it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Um,
so I was kind of linking in, and then realised, like, for me to contact this guy, like, I did end up like hosting at the centre for a while.
Mm.
And you sort of say like, oh, have you ever experienced anybody getting a click from that box? And I didn't even know the guy then, but I do, I do now. But and I said, oh, it's hard now, because it just wasn't doing anything. And
Hmm.
yeah, and it was one of my nights. So I was doing a private event there. The medium turned up at the centre. Somebody brought it to her, and yeah, it had been opened. And it was sad how people can mess with other people's property.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask, was it an accident? Did they do it on purpose, or
Yeah, definitely on purpose.
okay,
The thing is about the location, they have got a lot of items there, a lot of objects. They don't actually say that anything is haunted. It's up to individuals to find out.
right. Okay.
And,
I got you.
it's for them to determine if it is. And like,
Mhm.
they kind of know a lot of the items, sort of what's with them. Like teams will go in and sort of give the information and they'll record it. And, it builds a story, doesn't it? And then you get the validation for the items as well.
Right.
And when I've been hosting there as well, like there's a particular doll, and you just get a room of people, and like there's loads of dolls there, and people actually go up and pick it up. So why does that one doll attract people?
Right. Yeah. Hmm.
It's great to see that, and then you get the validation. And then when you get different people go in and go, "Oh, I've got this name with this item," they go, "Yeah, you're right,"
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
it is brilliant to get the validation.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've seen that kind of behavior before, where well, not necessarily a doll, but like people are attracted to one certain, like a jewelry box, for example, right?
Yeah.
And people, like, they're attracted to that, and it's even stranger when some of these people aren't like psychics or mediums, or they don't have any
Mm.
kind of abilities, but this item is like calling to them, and I've seen that, yeah. And then afterwards you hear about, everyone's attracted to this thing, oh yeah.
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 Because when I used to host there, you'd sort of go upstairs into the dolls' room and you'd never say anything. And you'd always wait to see, what people would say. Are they
Mhm.
getting the same information? And, it's just wonderful. And then they go, oh, this doll. And you go, well, what? Tell me more.
Yeah.
And you kind of try and push them as well to see if they've got any other feelings with it.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, so, like, here in America, I don't know how it is like over there, but here in America, it's like everyone's got a haunted doll. You know?
I have a
Eh,
few. Well,
yeah,
I have
eh,
dolls.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and but I think there's something to it. I don't think every doll is haunted. I'm
that's
sorry
right.
to
Yeah.
burst people's bubbles out there, but there are some very strange happenings that happen around some of these dolls, and that can't be explained, at least in my opinion.
That's right.
And, but that goes for any item. Like I said, jewelry boxes. I've heard, even like dressers.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right.
I've heard, furniture, rocking chairs. And just, I think for whatever reason, a spirit will attach itself. And I don't know if they like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, not that it's necessarily the jewelry box that's haunted, but maybe that spirit likes that jewelry box and is always
Yeah.
around. That's kind of like what I think. I
Yeah, I
don't know.
agree.
Yeah.
If somebody like had a rocking chair in life
Mhm.
and they used to spend their hours and the days and the years sitting in it, and it gave them happy memories,
Yeah. They
then
might.
why not sort of go and see it in the afterlife, or
Yeah. Yeah,
and at that place there's a specific doll,
right.
and early on they realized, a medium picked up that there's a lady called Mary with this doll,
Mhm.
and she basically didn't want anybody messing around with it without permission.
Mhm.
So they put it under a glass dome, so you can touch most of the items, but there's one or two either in locked cabinets or under the dome.
Mhm.
And one day I sort of asked respect the lady, the spirit, respectfully, can we use this? And we did, but I felt so guilty. I just had to put it back, But that's your mind, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, but it's just like, oh, I mean, you don't want to upset the spirits or
Mhm.
whatever they're called.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call them.
Mhm. So what do you think spirits are? You know, yeah. What do you think spirits are?
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
That they like, mm, they do sort of perceived to be like your relatives or
Mhm.
people from past lives or whatever, and that's But are they? We don't know. You
Yeah.
know, are they aliens? I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Like you get a medium and they get your mother through. Is it your mother?
Yeah.
Is it your father? They're
Mhm.
giving the right information.
Mhm.
And, what exactly are they contacting?
Yeah. 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 I've heard it.
Like
Yeah.
everyone says, oh, we've got your mother here. Well, is it?
Hmm.
There's nothing to actually validate that or prove that, is there?
Hmm. Yeah. And I think
Ulti-
there's very few uh, psychics, very few psychic mediums who can really, really narrow down on who's in the room and give you that little piece of information that only you would know,
yeah,
or
but even when they get that information,
is that your loved one, or
it's
is that,
still
yeah,
an assumption
yeah,
that it is a past loved one, isn't it?
yeah, yeah,
But we
yeah, for
we,
sure.
we don't know what's out. You really don't know what's out there or
Mhm.
what's going on.
Right. Yeah. And I've heard, people say, how do you know it's even like a good entity that's that
That's
they're always
right.
around us. They're always around us, and they hear our conversations, and you know
That's it. Or is it taking your memories? Whatever
yeah,
it
it's
is,
taking your memories, exactly, that
yeah,
too, picking up on what you want to hear, right?
yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah, they're picking up,
So we all, we go around and, you sort of say, are we speaking to this, that? And yeah, we don't actually know.
mhm,
And that's what I love about paranormal.
yeah,
There aren't the answers there.
yeah,
And I think if it could be proved more, then it wouldn't be so fun. Not for
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, part of the fun is just looking for answers,
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah. And coming out with theories and then like something happens and it's like, oh, okay, got that one wrong.
hmm,
And then you sort of it's the way my head works,
hmm,
you just got loads of questions.
hmm,
I went to Newstead Abbey and there's a murder on a road alongside this place. And there's a spirit keeps coming through and they're saying it's her. But it doesn't go along with what the history's saying.
hmm,
So is the history correct? Now, these were really a well off family. Now, they could have covered things up,
right.
or
Exactly. Yeah.
when I'm getting the information, are the people like I get the questions are coming in from me, the questions are coming in from the public guests, and we're all trying to get this story, and some actually know of the case as well. And they're asking questions, and then another member of the public's got dowsing rods or another method to get the confirmation yeses or nos.
Right.
And we know we're asking these questions, and the last two events now, I've got this information, but it doesn't work out with history.
Yeah.
So what
And
is wrong?
yeah, and then you got to wonder too. You have all these people coming in. Are they bringing in something else with them also?
Yeah,
And I think that's a big possibility in a lot of locations. There's a place here in Texas. It's up around the Dallas Fort Worth area. It's called Goatman's Bridge. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
no,
Um,
sorry.
yeah, but it's really more of a myth than it is a true story, but it's one of those places that everyone has gone to, and they pick up activity, right? and
That's
i
good.
don't and I don't think that they're picking up the goat man, because I don't think the goat man was real. A lot of people don't think the goat man was real, but I think so many people have come there to this location, and they've
Yeah,
invoked all kinds of stuff and
yeah,
invited other spirits. So yeah, I think the place is, I don't want to say it's haunted, but I think it has activity there that isn't the goat man, that everybody else kind
that's
of brought along,
right.
yeah. So, that's a
Yeah,
big
we have
possibility too.
stories in the UK about things.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get all these people and people do like different practices and it can rituals and whatever.
Hmm.
And it goes away from what was originally supposed to haunt a place
Hmm.
because people are taking things with them or they are evoking different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just so incredible though, isn't it? What you can get in unexpected places.
Hmm. Yeah. And speaking of invoking, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, I may as ask you now. Um, do you think it's possible for people to invoke spirits that can follow them forever. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh,
Um,
not sure.
yeah,
Phew, potentially,
yeah.
maybe. It's an odd one because I had a conversation earlier, and there's this guy who sort of went on a ghost hunt, and then there's this character who comes through whenever they use a glass divination.
A glass.
Yeah, so basically, you sort of put a glass on the table, people put the fingers on it, then you ask for
Okay,
a yes or no answer or
okay,
things like that.
hmm,
Like a board, but
okay.
obviously without a Ouija board. And yeah. And also I've had a lot of experiences. I've got like a past life link, and that somebody I used to work for in a past life keeps like going to my friends and giving them grief. And they
Really?
didn't even know about it. So one night this guy was like, he got woke up in the middle of the night and he's getting all this crazy stuff in his head. And he's looking around this location in his head and seeing all these things, what happened back in that location. He sort of said, "Oh, I got this dream." And wow. I said, "Well, yeah, I can take that." I
Wow.
understand.
Yeah.
And and it happened again, and it's happened twice now, and he's been like getting hassled because I don't understand it, and it's
Hmm,
a mystery, and you just try and get more and more information to try and make some sense of it.
hmm. Yeah, and because I asked that because I've known people who like uh, they were calling in the spirit, and um, this was like, man, I've been close to 25 years now, and this spirit still like hangs around them. You know,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, he's scared to death of it, so it's not cool.
No, that's so cool. It's funny.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. It. Oh, and he blames himself for it. He knows he did it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I don't want to get too much detail because it's kind of a
Yeah.
private thing. But yeah, yeah, it scares him every time it shows up. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's a spirit guide.
This thing has inflicted harm. Let's just say that. Yeah,
Ouch. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
I was,
Intriguing.
yeah. I want to ask you too. What about like cemeteries? Have you ever gone to cemeteries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really, I don't really investigate them that much.
Hmm,
I've no problem going around. I've recently toured Suffolk, near Rendlesham.
hmm. Okay,
So yeah, I actually camped in Rendlesham
that
recently.
is really cool.
I
That is
know,
yeah,
on my own with my dog
that's
on
really
a
cool.
campsite, and
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
my god, one night I did get freaked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So um, I, where in Suffolk, there's a lot of churches which are fallen into disrepair.
Hmm,
So I went around a lot of those, and the gravestones are fascinating.
hmm,
But I haven't actually been around many churchyards. There is a local one I've been around a few times, and
hmm.
yeah, it did feel quite dark in there at night. But yeah, I've not done a lot of those. In fact, I was going to go to my local cemetery today.
Hmm,
I just kind of wanted to go because I've not actually looked around it.
hmm.
But it started raining, so I didn't.
Okay.
But it's the one local to me, and I haven't even looked around it.
Right. Yeah. There's always like a group of different groups that say don't go to cemeteries, because it's not right or it's not respectful. But I think as long as you're respectful, I don't see anything
Yeah,
wrong with it, because to me it's like going to a haunted location. If the
that's
spirits want
right.
if the spirits want to communicate with you, they will. If they don't, they won't. And if they're not there, they're not going to communicate with you anyway. So you know
That's
uh,
right.
that's just my thought. If they want to communicate with you, they will.
I have the same opinion. I
Mhm,
keep away from graves from um, probably anything after 1960. I keep away from.
mhm. Yeah.
Anything recent. I will not go near them.
Mhm.
You know, yeah. If you're walking around, yeah, but if you're filming, no. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go near anybody's, recently lost loved
Yeah.
ones.
For sure.
And, if the grave's there from like 1900s,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when
it's,
was the last time somebody came
isn't
and
it
visited them?
interesting,
Yeah.
to try and talk?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, when was the last time somebody came and visited them? Or
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and like they might not be there, so no harm, no foul. But
Well,
if
that's
they're
right.
if they're there and they want to communicate with you, why not?
And I even went to the cemetery near Boleskine House. So this is where Alistair Crowley lived.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
that's been renovated.
Hmm.
And I actually had a look around the outside as they're doing the renovations, and there's a lovely graveyard for the Fraser clan, which is a Scottish clan. So a lot of the Frasers are sort of buried in that graveyard, and Crowley apparently did a lot of rituals there. So that was a nice, interesting cemetery, and you could feel like areas which were, yeah, it was cool. I went around in the daytime because I was on my own with the dog, and
Has your dog ever acted strange around
yeah,
anything? Really?
he's had a few encounters.
Okay.
There's a location in the UK in Northumberland, so it's north of England
Hmm.
along the coast,
Hmm.
and it's called the Schooner Inn, and it was known for like smugglers and things like that.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
it was known as a really haunted pub.
Hmm.
So it dates back, I don't know, but it's really old,
Yeah.
1600s, whatever.
Yeah.
So we went in this pub, and we were just off the bar, and there's a little alcove. And in my mind's eye, I saw this guy with a monocle over his eye, and tall, a tall guy, and looks like he's from the sea, or I can't say pirate, but maybe that sort of, And all of a sudden, I could sort of pick up him in the room and see him, and the dog started growling at a chair. And it was great. It was just there growling at a chair.
Hmm.
And I also toured Scotland. So I do 2 weeks tour. So I went camping in Scotland. So me and the dog. And I go and meet people I've met through Paranormal on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to this castle. So the castle was like really falling down. And we just sat in the grass and put a REM pod out and some equipment. And the dog started staring at the direction of the REM pod. He started growling, then the REM pod went off. So that's pretty cool. And he's done the same in my house as well. So I was just sort of tidying my house and sitting on the floor, like right next door. I've got my old dog's ashes. And I was sitting on the floor right next door to my old dog's ashes. And he just started growling at me. It is interesting. So, yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. I had a dog. He was a boxer. And
Mine's a boxer.
oh, really? What's
Yeah.
his name?
I don't want to say because I wake him up.
Okay.
ROCKY.
What? Spell it.
ROCKY.
Okay. Okay. Mine's his name was Atlas, and
Oh, cool.
yeah, we had him for 12 years. He passed in 2019, but
Oh, bless you.
the house that I lived in was haunted, and he would be eating, and also he would like stop eating, and he would like walk really, really fast to like one of the rooms and just kind of like look in there,
Wow.
And then there was one time he actually sat down in the middle of the living room, and I don't know if he was looking up at the wall or if he was looking up at someone standing in front of him, because
Yeah.
he just sat down. There was nobody in front of him, but he just sat down and was looking up. So I'm like, what is he looking at? But he would do stuff like that, like
Yeah.
yeah, he was a really good dog, but he would never bark or growl at, so I guess whatever was there was were good spirits, and we
Yeah,
think it was the
exactly
original
that.
owners of that house, and because we knew him at the time. We knew him for a long time. My ex-wife knew him since she was a little girl, and then I was married for 23 years, so I knew him for all that time too. They live right across the street from my ex-in-laws. They were good people, and when we moved into their house, it was vacant for 5 years, and we moved in, and I mean, right away, we everyone, it was me, my ex, and my 3 kids. We all started experiencing stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
We all were poked at one time or tapped on the shoulder or stuff like that. It happened all the time. That was pretty cool. And that was like, even though at that time I believed in the paranormal, I believed in all this stuff, I was already doing the Bigfoot stuff. um,
Yeah.
that was like, okay, this is real. This is, this is really happening. Yeah, I felt twice. I felt somebody sitting on the bed. I thought it was my
Wow.
dog. I thought it was Atlas trying to get on the bed, and he knew he wasn't allowed on the bed. So I sat up real fast. I was gonna be like, get your butt off the bed, but there was nobody there. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was it was. There were times when they would like, I don't want to say scared, but certainly startled us, but
Yeah.
they weren't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you wake up
Yeah,
and
that's
I
it.
saw, a woman sitting next to my bed, I just saw
Wow.
her silhouette. That scared the heck out of me, so but other
Yeah.
than that, it's just stuff like that. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna get you, or coming at you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but it was a good place to live. I like that a lot.
It's cool. I used to run a haunted pub, so it's just nothing special. It was
Hmm.
just on a high street.
Hmm.
It dated back to 1900s, and it turns out that the former landlord died in it.
Okay.
So where you get the bar area, immediately upstairs was there's a room.
Hmm.
And one day, like all the regulars downstairs, I heard him fall over and they go, "Oh, he's drunk again." Wife go upstairs and no, more than drunk, he died.
Oh.
And we sort of moved into the pub like 15 years after that,
Hmm.
and didn't think anything of it. And the old a former landlord came in and sort of said a lot of the things what had happened to him while he was in the pub. And, you just think, yeah, whatever, because I didn't truly believe or want to believe.
Hmm.
And things started happening. I had a German Shepherd and I got him at 8 weeks. And, like, he had a few encounters. Like, once we're in the bar and we're just chilling at night. All the customers had gone and we're just sitting watching TV downstairs, had a drink. And all of a sudden, the dog was like facing the bar directly. That's all he could see in his eyes. And he was just standing there barking at it for no reason. And, there's no reason for it. Also, one day I was just sort of getting ready to open up, cleaning the pub. And I heard him from a distance barking. I thought, well, I don't know what's happening with Maxie. And I called him and I had the bar. Then behind the bar was the cellar steps. And he came running up from the cellar, shaking. Well, German Shepherds don't do that.
Yeah.
It's not his behaviour. He was full of it,
Mm.
totally.
Yeah.
So I got his collar, got him down the steps. He wasn't too happy, but, he followed me. And down at the bottom of the cellar steps is the room. It was okay-ish in there. Then there's these double doors to where the beer was. So I tried to get him through there and he wouldn't go. So he freed himself from the collar and just legged it back upstairs, absolutely shaking.
Wow.
So
Wow. Yeah.
don't know what happened there. When sort of my ex-husband took him and I sort of got 8-week-old Staffy. And after a while, I sort of took him down there. We carried him down and it was fine. But he would never go down there on his own. And yet when I got another pub, he did follow me down there. So in another pub, he was fine going down the cellar, but he
Yeah.
would never go.
Hmm.
I also, when I was running the pub on my own, because my ex left after 2 years, so I went on to run the pub on my own. And at night, I'd just go to bed. And in the end, I sort of moved my bedroom into where that guy had died because it was a bigger room. It was a better room. And I was in bed one night and I woke up with a start. And like a few seconds later, the TV had come on. It's like, what the hell?
Hmm.
And then it went to white noise and it went off again. It's like, oh my God. So you think, yeah, it's on standby, it's happened, blah, blah. And I was scared and shoved my head under the covers because I couldn't do anything about it. It's my pub. I'm on my
Yeah.
own here. What can I do? So yeah, and it started happening frequently. And it was always like the same sort of scenario where I'd be asleep, I'd wake up, then it would come on. And it was really, and like once the white noise got quite graphic as well. I was starting to see pictures on it, or I can't say now what it was, but yeah, that was interesting. But one particular night, it got me wake up, the TV come on, then the burglar alarm went off.
Oh,
So I thought, oh, okay then. So the engineer came round. Right, why does it go off? Oh, I don't know, it's tamper. Well, there isn't a tamper. Look, CCTV, no one's tampered with it. Why? Explain. Give me a reason. Was it a power surge? And he couldn't give me a valid reason as to why it had gone off.
wow.
And it's just weird with it. And like even then, like I didn't. I kind of like experienced things, and I still didn't want to believe. Oh yeah, I was actually talking to the ghost Albert. I was talking to him, but I still kind of, I don't know. It's getting the acceptance, isn't it?
Yeah. 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 Oh,
And
yeah.
it's
And
like only after that the Matlock thing happened, and you realise that this is real.
yeah. Yeah. Validation is a real eye opener, even when you
Hmm.
believe. Even when you believe,
Yeah.
getting that validation is a real eye opener. But I did want to ask you another question as far as equipment goes. Is there a favorite piece of equipment that you have that you like to use?
I do like to sort of use my own senses.
Okay.
I do sort of, however, do a lot of public ghost hunts.
Mhm.
Now there's a UK guy who now just
Mhm.
designs gadgets, and they're more scientific based.
Mhm.
So they react. One can react to a change in air pressure. So
Okay. Okay.
one reacts to change in temperature. So if it's a quick change to cold, it will go blue. Quick change to hot, it will go red.
Okay.
And it's things like that. And they are really useful tools. And
Yeah.
also, like a lot of people will cheat with like the K2s and stuff like that.
Hmm.
We all know what Wi-Fi sets them off. And then you sort of get the YouTubers, don't you? Their
Right.
phones doing the live stream. It's right next door to a
Yeah.
K2. Oh,
Yeah.
it's gone to red.
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Look. Yep.
Yeah.
There's the
You,
reason.
we were at a location and we had this one room where the K2 meters were going off, right?
Wow.
And we were like, what the heck is going on? Well, come to
Yeah.
find out, there was a TV and it was turned off. Like I got a TV up here, that's why I'm pointing at.
Yeah.
But there's a TV on the wall and it was turned off, but it was still setting off the K2 meters.
Hmm.
So yeah, people got to be careful with stuff like that.
You have.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I was at Newstead Abbey on Friday night doing an investigation,
Mhm,
and a girl who used to like actually work at Matlock Pavilion,
mhm.
she sort of had one, and it was going to bright red, and I thought, well, that's not right. It was just too wrong,
Mhm.
I don't know, I don't know if it's wires under the carpet, the display cabinets, one had some sort of alarm on it. Was it caught, so like straight away it's like, nah, just ignore it. Because because it just seemed, nah, they don't just go red.
Right.
You know how they work, don't you? Like
Yeah.
if you put a phone up to them generally, they'll go amber
Yeah.
and then down again, then amber again. And you sort of you get to know how things react to things, don't you?
Yeah.
And if things go on demand, that is brilliant. That gives it more sort of validation.
Mhm. I have to agree. Um, we're coming up towards the end of the show, but I wanted to give you a chance to kind of talk about where people can find you. What do you have going on? You know.
Right. Okay. So I have a Facebook group, a Facebook page. Both are called Paranormal Path.
Mhm.
I also have a YouTube, Paranormal Path. I'm also on TikTok as well, Paranormal Path. So yeah, get a common theme there. I'm on Instagram as well, but don't use that much. I also host weekly podcasts.
Mhm.
So I go out live on a Monday night to UK between 8 and 9:30. They
Mhm.
actually go onto Facebook page, and also they go out onto YouTube.
Mhm.
So I interview a lot of people from around the world
Mhm.
about different sort of areas of the paranormal, from sort of aliens to whatever, really.
Mhm.
Because, it's a big field. It's just not one area, is it?
No, it's not. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
just for anything out of the ordinary. And wow, you get some people with incredible experiences.
Mhm. So besides the paranormal, is there anything that you like when it comes to like all this high strangeness and mysterious world stuff?
What I do outside?
No, no, like yeah, like besides the paranormal, is there a subject that you know that that you like?
Sort of do theatre.
Okay, all right,
So yeah, I'm in a local theatre company. So
okay.
I'm actually performing in a pantomime.
Oh,
So that's
nice.
going to be fun for Christmas.
Yeah,
So yeah, I've got kind of a big part for that. So I'm really looking forward to that.
yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Yeah, I like that
I
one.
do photography. It's kind of eased off because paranormal does take over.
Yeah.
I've got my day job, but outside, like my head, it's like, oh wow, because I'm sort of hosting public events with a
Mhm,
great medium called Barry John,
mhm,
and we sort of book locations, and also, he's sort of got news to Derby, so we sort of do public events there. I do private events myself,
mhm,
so I book locations and invite like-minded people,
mhm,
so that we can go and explore and do it our way.
mhm.
Because on a public event, you've got guests and you've got people who've never done it before,
Yeah.
and you can't sort of have people going into trance or
Yeah.
getting overshadowed and things like that.
Mhm.
But on our nights, we just invite the spirit close and anything can happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And like, what kind of advice would you have for someone who wants to get involved in the paranormal field?
Just go out and choose wisely who your friends are.
Yeah.
Also learn from sort of mistakes
Mm,
and sort of just keep your eyes open, really. Use your senses a lot.
mm.
So, everyone was born with these sensors. Now everyone's got their head stuck in phones and stuff.
Right.
They just lose the sight of like reality, don't they?
Yeah.
So,
Well,
like, ideally, if you sort of go into a building, just see if you can sit there quietly, see what you can hear, see what natural things you can hear as well. So,
mhm.
if later on in the night you hear a bang, well, you'd know if it's the heating because you would have already heard it.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
just take what you can from the building, just to see what's natural. So later on, you know what's natural and it's easier, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so. I would probably ask just to be respectful of anywhere that they would go,
Yeah.
especially when you're just started out. But I mean, you should always
You
do
have
that.
to
But
be respectful, yeah.
yeah, because
And like you might not know what to do. And like in the UK, there's a lot of events companies. So just go out with one of them, learn the ropes,
yeah,
learn how things are. You don't have to go out buying expensive kit. Just make sure that, you want to do this as well. Because I've got loads of kit I've bought. You buy it, 100 quid, you don't use it again.
yeah, yeah,
And oh yeah, it's just something about it, isn't it? You just
yeah,
say, I want it, and then nah, I'm
yeah.
not carrying that around with me.
Yeah. Well, just my digital recorders were like $20, and they work
Yeah,
great. They work great.
that's right.
And I know people got like these $100, recorders. I'm like, I caught the same thing you caught. It's like,
Yeah, that's
you know,
right.
get a yeah. So
Yeah, it's like your phones as well. Your
yeah,
phones are really good.
yeah,
Like, I've got a Samsung
hmm
25 and they're amazing. I've got EVPs on there,
yeah,
and like last Friday night, people took photos.
hmm
They have got some interesting images on
right,
there. I'm not saying the paranormal, but I'm struggling to explain them.
hmm
And generally, I can explain most photos.
yeah,
Oh, I will to the nth degree because I've done photography.
right,
I know slow shutter speed. I know, and like everyone's going to make mistakes in paranormal, but just learn from them.
yeah, exactly. And I think you have to learn to take criticism as well too.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. If and also if you're giving criticism, it's got to come from a good place. If you're being ugly with it, you know, you don't have to be ugly with it. Tell somebody, hey, look, this isn't what you think it is. And you can give
Yeah,
your opinion and listen to other people's opinion too. I think a lot
that's
of
right.
fights on Facebook start because of the unnecessary criticism, and also because people have thin skin. You gotta have thick skin.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just be careful because sometimes your friends, that they don't turn out to be your friends. And,
yeah,
I think like if you're in the paranormal long enough, you do sort of encounter that. But there are good people around
mhm,
and keep your circle close as well.
yeah,
And,
exactly.
there are some incredible people and it is wonderful.
Yeah,
And just keep away from that drama.
yeah, exactly. Some of my best friends are friends that I've met in the Bigfoot field who will be my friends forever. And just
Yeah.
real quick too, I just remember something. A friend of mine named Kimbo passed away this past weekend. Great guy, man. It was really unexpectedly. So Kimbo, I know you're in a good place, and I'll see
Oh,
you one
bless
day,
you.
buddy. Yeah. Well, with that being said, this comes to the end of our show. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, thank you so much.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks
cool.
for
Well,
taking the time and
yeah.
thank you for contacting me.
Yeah, of course, of
I
course,
enjoyed it.
thank you for coming on. I do appreciate it. And if you ever have anything you want me to promote for you, send me it. I'll promote it, or tag me in it, whatever you want to do. I'll be happy to promote it for you.
Oh,
Um,
thank you so much. I am trying to bring a book out. I have written it. I tried to get it published last year and this year and
mm,
things, whatever.
yeah,
And I've just got to sort of edit. I keep editing it, and every time you kind of edit it, you change it. And
right.
but yeah, it needs to
Mhm.
come out one day.
Yeah, I've got a book that I haven't finished, and it's probably been about 2 years. And I'm
Yeah,
almost done with it, but I know I got to finish my last 2 or 3 chapters, and then probably go back and edit it. But yeah, I've got a lot going
yeah.
on in my
Mine's
life.
69,000 words, and I've
Oh
kind of
wow,
started deleting words.
yeah, there you go.
I'm that fed up of it. I thought, well, there's less words and there's less reading and editing.
Yeah.
But I kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. Don't go anywhere. Hold on tight. And everyone else, I will see you next week on Sunday again. I'll see if I can get this figured out and record it. So that's my plan, is to have it released every Sunday night at 7 o'clock Central. And of course, tonight it'll be a little bit earlier now. But yeah, everyone, I will see you guys next week. And thanks for tuning in. And don't go anywhere. Hold on real quick.
Thank you so much.